Ross, how different a challenge, how different a challenge would Hawthorn be in terms of an opponent as opposed to Sydney? Would you have to change much given their big forwards?
Yeah, I haven't thought about it too much at the minute. Yeah, they've got those tall forwards, haven't they? Roughhead and Franklin and Hale and Bailey go through there, then they sub one out late. So we're still doing our review, tidying that up, meet with the coaches later today. And then we'll have a sharp review tomorrow of the players, and then we'll move on to Hawthorn. So it hasn't occupied too much thinking. Obviously, it's just ticking over. Got their tags up on the whiteboard and just put the team up. So we'll work through that. So, you know, it's just typical of us sticking to what we do, take care of ourselves first and move on to Hawthorn. But clearly they've been the best home and away team, really strong attacking and defensive team. I think their defence is underrated, you know, and they're just talent-laden when you look at it. And very experienced team, so it's you know, we're on uncharted territory. You know, I heard Wayne Bennett talk about the Newcastle Knights, and they're uncharted territory, but he said they've been doing the basics really well, and if they get away from those, it will blow up. So the same thing applies to us. You know, we've won a lot of games. I think it's about 17 out of the last 20. Been smacked a couple by Geelong and Hawthorn, but we know we stand up and we do the basics really well over and over again. I'm sure we'll be fine.
Ross, it's a long time ago since round 4. Is it too far away to draw parallels from that game?
Yeah, look, I haven't really got to it yet. You know, they smacked us down in Lyon the last couple of times, so I'm sure they're pretty confident. But as we, you know, Geelong smacked us round 14 down there, we went down and turned the table. So as long as we'll go to school on it, we'll look at it, but we've evolved a fair bit since early in the year, personnel-wise, and really even the way we play. And we certainly can offer more of an offensive threat than we did in the past. Our stoppage work is of the highest order at the minute, and we know our defence stands up. So we think we're in pretty good shape to challenge, you know, the best home and away team of the year. But as I said, it's not about that. It's about being the best finals team, and both of us won 2, and whoever gets it on the weekend can walk away being the best finals team. So it's a pretty simple philosophy, but we'll just have a good week preparation and get on the bird and go over and aim to get it done. You know.
It looks like there's nothing from the match review panel today for your guys, and there's no injuries to speak of. Is it nice to go into the week not having that distraction of those sorts of things?
Yeah, I think you summed it up. It would be a distraction. We've all seen reports, you know, during grand final week. It's not ideal for the player or the club, so there's none of that for both clubs. Injury fronts, I think we're both in pretty good shape. Obviously, the White Cross is really sad to see an AFL player go down with an ACL and miss a grand final opportunity, but you know, we all move on, and yeah, we just focus on those that are available.
You like you're peaking at the right time of the year, like you're playing your best footy now?
Oh, not particularly. I don't know about peaking. We saw last weekend as an opportunity to improve, to play our best football. So we got a lot right. Just doing the review, looking at it, there's some things to tidy up, and you know, we would have preferred to go through with a bit more polish right to the end, but that'd be, again, it's a sharp reminder if you drop off how quickly things can change. So we've got plenty of improvement. As I said, we're a young group. Our aim is to continuously improve our football, and that's our focus. And we've grown a lot. We're about growth, and we're sure we can grow again in the next few days before even that ball's bounced on the weekend.
Are you again trying to keep the routine normal? Are the players off today as usual?
Yeah, well, look, by definition, it's not a normal week, is it? It's grand final week, so this presser looks a little bit bigger. You know, there's the Brownlow tonight, which is a wonderful, you know, event on the calendar. You know, a worthy winner will come out of that, and then we've got the parade over there. There'll be media attention. So, and even the families and, you know, kids flying over on the plane with us will be slightly different. So there are some distractions potentially, but we're professional enough to. And then we're going to have a really big training session. I'd be surprised if there's probably not 15,000 people there during the week. So there are some differences that we acknowledge, but what's important is not to be distracted by it. Just focus on what you need to do, and which is preparation.
Ross, who's your best chance tonight for the Brownlow team?
To be honest, I haven't thought about it. I did read in the paper. I think Nat Fyfe's a chance, is he? So, look, we've had a few with good years. I find it hard. You know, I thought I was just on the website there. You know, Pendlebury, I love watching play, and you know, I thought him and Dane Swan. I don't know if Dane Swan's been reported or not, but Dane Swan was unbelievable this year. What those two do for that group, and you know, I think Swan probably had his best year almost. You know, he was fantastic. I think Swan or Pendlebury for mine.
Ross,
I know
you
you've
did the review.
played down your role as coach and put all the plaudits to the players and the work that they've done, but how satisfying is it for you to possibly win the premiership, given that you've been there before and haven't won?
How satisfying is?
How satisfying will it be for you to lift that premiership cup with Pav, given that
Well, that's,
you've been through St Kilda?
I haven't got my crystal ball. I know we're in with a chance. There's no satisfaction or joy for me at the moment. I think to see the team grow and the club grow and progress to this week is really important. We're a serious footy club that aims to win premierships. So what you've got to do is continually give yourselves opportunities to do that. This is an opportunity created. I'm focused on the job at hand, and it's a credit to the coaching panel and the play group that's worked really hard. A lot of people talk about doing the work, but there's only a few clubs and teams that consistently do the work. So this year, to this point, we've done the work and to give ourselves an opportunity.
Ross, when you did your review, did you sort of feel that drop-off was a little bit to do with the players, maybe even looking a bit ahead to this week, or did you feel it was more the fact that you put in so much effort in that first half that it was just a little bit difficult to sustain that?
Yeah, really good question. I think I've seen it before in prelims where I think 2010 we were well up on the Bulldogs, really well on top, and I think they had the last 6 shots on goal because no one wants to get hurt and everything drops off. So there's an element there. There's an element, as you all know, we rested 9 or 10 or 12 against the Saints. So the effect of winning the first final was most of our players have only played 2 games in 5 weeks. So they're fresh, but we feel the weekend would have brought them on a fair bit as well. So we go over fresh, and it just would have brought us up a notch, that level of performance. So we see some improved match conditioning come out of it as well.
Truthfully, that second quarter was so amazing that should send a warning to any other team.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I've heard the hype. I think what was amazing was our crowd, our fans, our members. I think it was compared to being at an EPL, an Arsenal game. So I think that's what really added to it, the roaring, the excitement from our fans. But for us, it was a pretty typical quarter of pressure. I didn't see it. I could go and pluck 20 of those off for you.
And what about experience in grand finals? Will that count for much, the fact that Hawthorn were there last year, that maybe had 3 grand finals now?
Yeah, no, not a lot's made of that. I think it's all... Look, it might be relevant to some, certainly not relevant to us. Collingwood 2010 had 9 teenagers playing. It's not about perception, it's about action. So, yeah, not in the slightest. Hawthorn 2008, you get in there and you try and take your opportunity. The Adelaide Crows, they're back to back. You just get in there and you play your best football and see where it takes you.
And Ross, have you got a word for the 4,000 Lockers fans who missed out on tickets?
Did they? Have they? I'm unaware. Look, there's a bit I take responsibility for, but I'm not going to take responsibility for that.
No, I don't think anyone's blaming you.
Yeah, I think I'll refer that to Steve Rossage, CEO. Look, we'd love everyone to have a ticket, obviously, and there's ways and means. So keep scrapping and fighting. That's what the doctors do.
Scalping.
Scalping? Well, they're your words. I don't know about scalping.
Ross, your
Ticket
midfield-
value would be nice.
So your midfield's had 2 massive challenges over the last 2
Yeah.
games. You've got another one.
Yeah.
Is Hawthorn a different sort of proposition in the midfield where so many can play back, forward, and all
Yeah,
over the shot there?
look, they are a flexible team. There's no doubt about that. At this time of year, you're not going to come up against a lowly midfield, are you? You're going to come against an elite midfield, and that's what gets it done. So we feel our flexibility has really improved as well with Hill and Mazunga, Mundy, and that going through half back, and Fife and Mundy spending time forward. So out of necessity, over the last 8 weeks, we've changed our lineup a fair bit too. So it has been their great strength, and that's something they took out of last year. So yeah, look, it's a massive challenge. We get that. And look, they've lost the grand final last year. They wouldn't. I've been on the end of 2 losing grand finals. It's not fantastic for the ego. So yeah, they'll feel the internal pressure themselves trying to get across the line, but no more than us. We've got as much to lose. We've got a grand final to win or lose here.
And in terms of the MCG, obviously it's a wider ground. What do you have to adapt? What do you
Yeah, and I've heard all that before. It's not about the ground; it's about the ball and your opponents. So
in terms of going from a narrow ground to a wider
yeah,
one?
I don't change anything, to be frank.
Would you like
Not
to
a
see-
thing.